Welcome, everyone, to a beautiful Friday. It's a beautiful Friday. Give yourself the time. It's really important to give yourself the time to grow. Hmm? People ask, well, why do I meditate? Why do I need to just take time out of the day? Because if you notice, there's a lot of noise in the world. There's a ton of noise in the world. So where does one ever find peace and quiet? You don't find it, but you cultivate it, which means there's something that you do naturally already that you find to be relaxing, that um, disconnects you from the outside world. Some people will do fasting from social media. Some people will read, some people will dance, some people will paint. What is it that you do? It comes naturally to you. Here's the thing, you what is it that you do? It comes to you naturally. Do you play the guitar? Do you play the piano? And you can sit there and just get lost in that? That's what I mean. Whatever that thing is, it the violin? Give yourself that time. You don't have to be like everybody else to say, well, I'm going to meditate for 40 minutes a day. I'm going to meditate for 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. Not everybody is the same. You have your own personality. You have your own likes and dislikes, and they're obvious to you. So when you see them, totally make use of what you are good at. And something will happen when you do that. You will find more areas in your life to create consistency, right? So if you say, Angela, I have a hard time sitting there, okay, what else? Do you like to read? I know people who don't actually like to pick up books, but they will do audiobooks, right? So find an audiobook that you love and it's soothing to you, and you just float away when you listen to it, right? Is it your favorite song? The point here is, if you realize in life that everything is meant to be easy and effortless and to flow, because that is the way life is designed. So you don't have to go ripping things apart and searching for something to fix, or searching to find, oh, I gotta do a new thing. No. If you take a moment, it will rise to the surface and you'll become aware of it. Whatever that thing is. Are you crafty? Do you like the glue stick, the glue gun, and you're, I don't know, cutting things out, stitching things, sewing things? What is it? Pruning the garden. Is that something you like? Do you like going for walks? Whatever that thing is that gives you reprieve, that settles the soul, that is the thing. You do it naturally already. You truly do. And I find a lot of people are beating themselves up. You know, they're beating themselves up because they feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to begin. Begin with a moment of silence and ask yourself, what's the thing I like doing? It's always in your face because you're always doing it. You just are. It's something that is helpful to you. One of my favorite things is kneading dough, baking, kneading dough, bread, buns, whatever, brownies, ayapo, right? So if I'm going to be on social media, I'm hunting for recipes, because then I get the ingredients and I go and I do it. Today it might be baking. Tomorrow it might be writing. You see, it is simple. It is. Just watch yourself. What is it that you come back to all the time? Neville Goddard did mention it. He said the thing, the thought, the state that you return to most often. That's your home state, your mental home state. So there's something that you do naturally. When you see it, right, it'll bring you peace. Yes, because there'll be a sigh of relief that goes, oh, whew, this is nice. I'm glad I found it. I just got shivers. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to fight and scratch and claw and make time. You don't have to do that if you're feeling restless, a little bored, a little antsy. Look at the elements: fire, earth, water, air. Fire is an agitator, it moves. It can be reckless if not guided, but earth is stable. Water is soothing. The air will take you somewhere. Which out of those four things do you recognize? If you say, oh, I'm bored, I need something to do, well, something passionate, something you're passionate about, because that is fire, right? The element of fire, not matches, y'all. Come on. I think we got enough worldwide forest fires to last a lifetime, right? But something that you're passionate about. We learned how to do this in TCM school, traditional Chinese medicine, where you look at a person and you listen to them. What element do they represent? It'll stand out to you. One is going to be stronger in them when you see it. So if you know the nature of a thing, which means if you know your nature, you, who are you? So if you say, oh, I'm frazzled, I'm this way, I'm that way, I'm everywhere, you're looking for stability. So the earth brings stability. Get outside. Put your feet on the grass. You don't have access to that? If you don't have access to that, find something with structure. Find something you like to do that has structure, because that is the earth. But then you say, oh, I just need to calm myself, and water. Perhaps drink a little bit more water. Perhaps a nice bubble bath. Perhaps a walk by the river. Incorporate water, the energy of water, into your life. But if you say, oh, I feel stuck, well, the air moves. Get into your mind. What do you like doing? Learn about a new place. Do you want to travel somewhere? You see, there are many, many options. And all we need to do is to take a brief moment and we'll see it. You'll become aware of it. You just will. Okay, so you like playing video games. Go ahead. Take a moment with that if it allows you to float away somewhere else. But don't demonize yourself for doing something that you enjoy. Now, hear me out. If you're doing something that you enjoy, that does not, okay, here's what. If you're doing something that adds to your life, adds to your mental clarity, adds to your peace of mind, then do that. I said what I said. If it adds to you, you do it. If when you're done and it makes you feel, ugh, you're the worst kind of person ever. If it makes you feel like that, and you're going to deal with guilt, well, find something else to do. Indeed, there's never a reason to judge oneself, but find the thing that soothes you. Take a moment. If it is a nap, take it. Really and truly. Because as I mentioned, the world never stops, does it? Well, the law of vibration tells you that everything is moving all the time. Everything moves. Nothing stands still. So if nothing is standing still, even if you have a nap, you're not standing still. You're laying down, but you're still not still. The heart is beating. You are breathing. The blood is pumping through your veins. You're not still. But you can take times of quiet because there's so much noise in the world, right? So when you begin to practice quietness, what are you doing? You're planting a seed of quietness within you. So when you plant a seed of quietness within, as within, so without. Now you begin to encounter other places outside because you're creating quietness and stillness inside. So you're taking your quietness and stillness with you all day long. But you do have to take the time to cultivate it. This is the thing. So if you like reading, sit down for the love of God and read. If you like writing short stories, sit down and write short stories. Right? Do that thing that comes naturally to you. And it's easy for you to do. Why did I say easy for you to do? Because that's how we live life. Whether the life is chaotic or not, good, bad, or indifferent, it flows. If you look at it, you'll see that it flows and it is beautiful. It might not feel beautiful to you if it is chaotic, but that's not the judgment here. The charge is to examine it, look at it. And if you look at it, you will see that it is always easy. Whether it is good, bad, or indifferent, it is always easy. There's no, how am I going to do it? No, no. It just always seems to get done, good, bad, or indifferent. Because that is life. It flows with ease. It has a definite rhythm to it. Yes. So don't beat yourself up because you think, well, I'm not like them. They can meditate and they can go and do grounding and they're so spiritual. Everybody is spiritual because that's what resides inside your body, the spirit. So you are spiritual. It's not some fancy thing. It is a way of being because it is our being. Hmm? So drop the comparisons. If you do that, you'll get yourself unstuck from any murky situation. You don't have to be like everyone else. If you doodle, you know, with a pen and paper, or pencil and paper, or crayons, and you just sit there and you just doodle, drawing shapes at random, for goodness sake, do it. Because when you do that, when the brain is engaged on an activity, it has a singular focus. That singular focus is the top of a pyramid, you understand? It's a pinpoint focus, but the base of the pyramid, now your spirit is wide open. And then you'll find yourself learning new things, getting new ideas, because then you're wide open. You're singularly focused, but you're wide open. Do you understand what I mean? You're engaging the brain with an activity. And you keep doing it over and over and over. It's autopilot now. Something else is going on. where the ideas, all of a sudden you go, Eureka, I'm going to try that. Oh my God, that would be a great idea. That's the charge this morning. Give yourself the time to grow. Give yourself the time to develop. Give yourself the time to become aware of who and what you are. And to give yourself that time, engage in an activity that you genuinely enjoy, that adds life and energy to you. That when you're in the midst of it, in the thick of it, you say, oh, that's really soothing to me. You're not doing it for the purpose of impressing anybody. You're not doing it with the purpose of making friends. You're not doing it for anything other than to soothe you. Yes, that's what you do. That's what you're doing. You're being gentle with yourself. But don't think that it is all for naught. It has a purpose. You are planting a seed of gentleness within. You're planting a seed of peacefulness within. Well, then you're planting a seed also of kindness because you're being kind to you. And here's the beautiful thing. My cup runneth over. When you are full, you can't help but pour it out. And you may not have to be physically kind or nice to people for them to see it. But the fact of you walking around with a demeanor, a form, face that is peaceful and calm, remember, mirror neurons. You don't have to be the one that is calm, but if you observe something that is calm, your body responds with calm. And we think you have to get up and go serve the hungry. Hey, if that is your inclination, then go do that. But your mere presence of calm brings calm to others. Yes, you're not living in vain. Well, I can't find my purpose. It's not lost. It's just that there's so much noise. So if you can't quiet the noise, there's no pause button for the planet. But you can quiet you. And when you quiet you, you'll become aware of many things. That's what I'm trying to tell you today. Give yourself the time. We get up, we go to work. That's the time we give our boss in exchange so we can pay the bills. So you're giving that time. Okay. Now where's your time? You also get something in return. So give yourself the time and you will reap something from it. This is your encouragement today because this is the thing I keep getting asked all the time. I feel guilty if I don't meditate. Stop that. Stop poisoning yourself with guilt. Yes, I did say that word poison because that's what it is. It does not serve anybody, especially you. You don't judge yourself. Observe. And if you are seeing a particular behavior that just, you say, you know what? That's really not benefiting me. And I want all the things that I do in my life to be beneficial to me and to, make me grow and like a nice, lovely vine that bears beautiful fruit. Yeah, that's what I want. So if you look at a behavior that doesn't do that, what is the other behavior that would? Then you do that. There's no judgment there. There's an observation. Oh, but what if they judge me? What if they laugh at me? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. That's when you turn around and say, well, that sounds like a you problem. Well, of course. They're the ones telling you who they are, and they're telling you their problem. They're telling you their problem with you. Okay, wait, listen to it again. They're telling you their problem with you. Sounds like a you problem. That's what you say to them. You don't have to say it out loud because that's what they're doing. They're saying, well, I got a problem with you. Wait, who's the one with the problem? Not you. So why take it on? You cannot live from that place. What if they don't like me? You can't live from that place. If they don't like you, that's their problem. They're telling you their problem. Whether their problem is with you or with somebody else, they're telling you their problem. Their problem is not your problem. I got 99 problems, but you ain't one. That's what it is. So you don't have to pick it up. See what I mean by noise in the world? It is exhausting. Think about that. You get up and you're tired. You go to bed, you're tired. Huh? It's not that. You got to remember, if you are mentally exhausted, as within, so without, then the body, as above, so below. So the mind, the brain is mentally exhausted, then the body has to be physically exhausted. So that's why I suggest that you give yourself the time to do what you enjoy. You like window shopping? You just like walking and enjoying the sights? Then go do that because you're in your own space and your mind has taken a break, thereby giving the spirit rest. This is what it is. But sometimes we look around in the world and we feel so overwhelmed. We feel hopeless when we look out into the world and go, oh my God, what am I going to do? There's so much of this going on. Yes, we know there's so much of that going on. But you just simply have one bucket of water. You can't, it's not enough to pour all over the world. But you have to nourish you. You have to nourish you. So take the time, give yourself the time to be nourished. Pay attention to that. If the body is really tense, the appetite suffers in some way, whether you binge or whether you starve yourself. Either way, if that body is tense, yes, you know, allegedly, scientists have found that if you learn to relax, your DNA will relax too. Because remember, the DNA is it's a coil, yes? It's going to be coiled, but how is it coiled? Is it relaxed or is it tight? Is it like your 4C hair? Yes, Angela. Tight coils. But if you take a moment and you give yourself the time to just sit and breathe, yeah, thoughts are going to come in there like ants at a picnic, but you don't engage with them. You just breathe. You don't have to fight with them. Just breathe. And allow your entire body to relax. Allow it to relax. Every cell, every muscle fiber, even your DNA relaxes. As within, so without. As above, so below. Relax the mind, the body will relax also. I don't know how to relax. I hear that one quite frequently. Well, what do you think relaxation is? Some people can't sit still. I don't know what to do. You like swimming? Go and just float on top of the water. It is a most incredible sensation. There are sensory deprivation tanks. It's just filled with, oh my God, is it 12 inches of water? Something like that, but it's 1,200 pounds of Epsom salts. So you don't sink, you float on top of the water. And they close the door. I tried it. There was an attempt. I couldn't close the door. No, I don't like confined spaces. No, I lay there with the lights off and that door open. I took what I got from that experience and I said, you only got to do it once, honey. Perhaps that's not your thing. But see if you can do it in your room. Get an LED light bulb. It changes color. And change the color in your room. Close the blinds, change the color on the bulb. Lay there with either the ocean sounds or a waterfall. And just lay there. Light therapy. Just lay there in that space. Right? So that's what I mean when I say give yourself the time. Oh, but I hurt so much. I'm so sad. Give yourself time. Remember the law of rhythm. There's an ebb and there is a flow. But the strength of the flow depends upon the strength of the ebb. However hard you swing to the right is how hard you come back to the left. It is the law of compensation because it is rhythm, and rhythm compensates. Right? That's what it is with the law of rhythm. So that the amount of time that you spend cultivating peacefulness, that is the measure of peacefulness you will have. And that is the measure of peacefulness you will take with you on a daily basis. Give yourself time to chew your food. I said it, chew your food. What's the rush? Savor every bite. Indeed. Maximize your sense of taste. Gustation. Maximize your sense of taste. You bite into it, take your time, chew it. What flavors are you getting? That's what I mean when I say give yourself the time. Now let's take some time to welcome everyone into the space on this glorious Friday. Who is here on Twitter? Hello, Geck. Tiffany. Jeff. Hey, V224. I see you, baby. I know that the honest guy was here. I think he did DM me. Um, it's good to see you all here on Twitter today. Very good to see you. Who's here on Fanbase? I see Hello Victoria, Flo Smiles, KZ, Miss McQueen, L. Hey Coco, Yolanda, Zola. I see you. Thank you for being here on such a lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. It is glorious, isn't it? Let's see. We've got Indy on Facebook. And YouTube. Hey, Queen Marat. It's so good to see you. iApple. Shea Butter. iApple's here. Sugar Visions. Marcia, darling. I see you. Marjorie, good morning. David is here. Ruby. Goddess Pure Diamond. I see you. You're the ones who've made yourselves known in the chat. on YouTube. And for the ones who've not made themselves known, I know you're there. And for the replay gang, I see you too. The replay gang, right? Uh, I just want you to get to that place where your peace of mind is so important to you and that you cherish it. Yes, that peace of mind, that gentleness. You know, people say, "Oh, be gentle with yourself." But you cultivate gentleness. That's what you do. Give yourself the time. Don't be in such a hurry. Yes, Zola, I remember the song. Have patience. Give yourself some time. I have so much to do. Well, that popular saying is can't pour from an empty cup. So, how do you fill the cup? Fill my cup, Lord. I lift it up, Lord. Come and quench this thirsting of my soul. Yeah, that song. We used to sing it in church when I was a little girl. Bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more. Fill my cup, fill it up and make me whole. That song. We used to sing that. Oh, I used to love that song as a kid. Brought back memories. And that's why I understand what my grandmother used to do. She would walk around and whatever hymn, she was always humming some kind of a hymn because that's what she did to give herself time. That's what she did. She sang all the time. She would hum. She was cooking, she was humming. Sweeping, she humming. Beating my ass, she humming. Either way, she was humming something, you know? But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Give yourself the time. Because you are worthwhile. There's so much to you that you don't even know yet. And just like that little kid jumping in the puddle, that's what we're doing right now, living life, jumping in that puddle, and it's all muddy and murky. But if you just stand real still in that puddle, you'll begin to see your own reflection. And as Ayapo mentioned, learn to know yourself, and you will never judge yourself. By definition, only an unknown needs to be judged. There's no need to judge a truth. A truth is just what it is. Beautifully said, Ayapo. See? When you give yourself the time, you're learning who you are, what you enjoy. Because then you'll begin to build your boundaries from there. Well, how are you supposed to know how you want to be treated if you don't give yourself the time to figure that out? To say, oh, well, no, that won't do in my life. So, no, I'm not going to tolerate that. Many things come from giving yourself time. Many things come from there. So do that. That's all I want to tell you today. Well, you think there was more? Not on Friday. Because it is the thing that we most often forget is ourselves. We go and we do for everybody else. Mothers especially. Fathers, I don't want to forget about you because you do give of yourself too. But in our giving to everybody else, well, you must remember to give to you. Give to you. There's 24 hours in a day. How many of those did you give to yourself? Well, I know your boss is getting 8 to 12. And depending on your boss, that might be 16. Depending on your shift. Where's your time? Mm. Oh, you're not getting paid. So, oh, you're not going to invest. I see. Mm. Mull that one over for a moment. So if I don't pay you, you're not going to spend time with yourself? Well, you might not get payment in the form of cash, but you will get payment in the form of peace of mind, ease of pain in your body, clarity of thought, and all of those things can contribute to you getting a promotion, making more money. But if you don't take that time for yourself, how are you going to see what your full potential is? Hmm. Hmm. Seems to me that the best place to start would be yourself. Hmm. Just an observation. It's just an observation, right? So your charge today, give yourself time. You like making bath bombs and fancy bath salts? Keep some for you and sprinkle, sprinkle. I heard that the other day. Sprinkle some of that in your bath water and just relax. Seriously, I'm so for real. You know, if you like animals, I think the SPCA, you can volunteer. You don't have to take a pet home. Man, that stuff is expensive. You gotta feed them, you gotta feed you, you gotta spend time with them, right? See? But if you like them, go and volunteer to pet the kitty or pet the puppy. Talk to them. You see, there's so many ways that you can give yourself the time. So many. And it's just all based upon who you are. That's it. And that's why it's important to know oneself. So this morning, we're short and we're sweet and we're to the point. We're to the heart of the matter. That's what we are. Straight to the heart of the matter. Because we always put ourselves last. Who told you to do that? When it comes to care, you must put yourself first. I wonder why. Let me see what the law says here. Universe is a mental creation. I want care. I want kindness and gentleness and love. As above, so below. As above in your mind, in the heavens, well then so below in your body. Right? That that is exactly where you start on a daily basis. Start there. Start with the self. Start with yourself and give yourself the time. Give yourself the time. That is most important. Nothing trumps that. You can't even say that word nowadays. It has a whole new life of its own. But nothing comes before the self. Why not? Because everything comes from the self. So the kind of life you're looking at now, that is your own, it all came from yourself. So if you want your life to change, change the self. What is the self doing? What are you doing? Do you like it? Well, these are questions you've got to ask yourself. What do I like doing? Just do it. Give yourself that time, my beautiful friends. Give yourself that time. Indeed, it will do you a world of good. The body will be at ease. Seriously. You want your hypertension to go away? Learn to relax. You want your cholesterol lowered? Learn to relax. You want your palpitations to go away? Learn to relax. Remember, your body is responding. I wonder to whom? To you. Your body is responding to you. It is the law of correspondence. As within, so without. Your body is responding to you and the directive you give it. So if your directive is panic, anxiety, and running around, well, then the body responds in kind. Well, I don't know how to relax. A funny thing is, if you practice something, you get better at it. So if you don't know how to relax, learn. You see, you might think you have a problem, but within every problem, there's the solution. The seed of the solution is right there. I don't know how. Then you learn. And you use your mirror neurons. Look at things that are relaxing. Listen to things that are relaxing. Smell things that are relaxing. Aromatherapy. Taste things. Oh, peppermint is very relaxing. Peppermint tea. Mm-hmm. Touch. Velour, velvet, suede. You touch things that help you to relax. You have 5 senses. Use them all. One at a time or all together. It doesn't matter. So if you don't know how, you learn. And you are guaranteed success because you know whatever you practice, you become the master of it. But of course. So you see, there's no excuse as to why you cannot give yourself time. If you like making excuses, give yourself all of the excuses as to why you should have that time. That's what you do. Give yourself all the reasons why you should. And when you see all the reasons why you should, you'll be inspired to give yourself that time. So there. That's what I will leave us with today. Because it's just one of those things. We always put ourselves on the back burner. And then even if you do give yourself the time, then you want to be sensitive and feel guilty about it. Come now, let's let's not do that anymore, shall we? If you're gonna give yourself the time, relish in that time. Oh yes, bask in it. Like a cat in the sun. If you ever watch them, they roll this way and that. Ooh, because the sun feels so good. Yeah, do that. Just roll around in it. Mm-hmm. Yes. You don't have to justify it to anybody. You don't. You don't owe anybody an explanation. My son says to me, Mom, I don't want to hang out with you today. I just want to be by myself. I'm like, okay. And I go and I read, or I doodle, or I go for a walk, or he goes for a walk. See? But you just got to know when you need to take that time. That is your word today. Oh, come, don't clutch your pearls. That's your word today. because we needed that reminder. We needed that reminder. If you're going to get out your stencils and your crayons, well, then draw because it brings you great pleasure, not because are they going to like it? Who cares if somebody likes it? Do you like it? Because if you like it, do you realize you'll work more diligently with it? And a funny thing happens when you do it. Your whole vibration, your whole essence is in it. So if somebody doesn't like it, it just simply means that vibration, they can't get there. They're not on that vibration because it has to resonate with you. So if you're drawing and you in the back of your mind, your thought is, oh my God, I'm not as good as that person. What are you putting into your artwork? Oh, you think that thought is invisible? Then you've forgotten the law of gender. You are projecting. What are you projecting into your artwork? What are you projecting into the cake that you are icing? That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, there's that I heard this saying. I never I heard this saying, "Ooh, it tastes so good. You put your foot in it." I was like, "What? How can it taste good if you put your foot in it?" Uh. But allegedly, that means the thing that you cooked was so good, you must have put your foot in it. I'm like, it makes no sense, but that's what they say. Think about it. What is that movie? Is it like Water for Chocolate? She was a chocolatier and she made chocolate and she was just so impassioned about what she was making that the person who bit into the chocolate, oh, they went to heaven and back. Because you are infusing everything you do with your essence. You know, like when the dog walks by and lifts its leg and marks its territory, and he's telling other dogs, I've been here. I was here. That's what he's doing. He's living his essence. Now, your essence, you'll always remember the dog lifting its leg now. You leave your essence in everything that you do. So that's why, if you are going to do something, for the love of God and all things, do it like you mean it. Yes. If you are like Aretha Franklin or Fantasia, and you get up there and you sing, come on. Yeah, you put your whole heart into that. That is your essence. If you're drawing, if you're cooking, if you're baking, the essence of you is in that. Well, how do you know your essence is in it? Because your essence is like a fragrance. Oh. Fragrances have a way of lingering in the air. Good, bad, or indifferent, that fragrance will linger in the air. And you'll know if I smell Brute, I'm looking for my father. Old Spice, I'm looking for Uncle Anthony. Yeah. Green Tea by Elizabeth Arden. Huh, you know, it's like your essence. But you get to know your essence when you give yourself the time. You get to find the thing that fires you up, the passion that you just got to do it. What's that line from Sister Act 2? If you get up in the morning, all you can think about is singing. You're supposed to be a singer, girl. That thing that fires you up, that passion, then do it. Do it again, do it again, do it again, because I can't help myself. Right? Just, it fires you up. Do it. Because that is your essence. Right? That's your essence. Everybody leaves their essence. Don't get it twisted. Good, bad, or indifferent. If you're working a case, you're looking at the evidence because the evidence will tell you who was there. Oh, Forensics 101. The evidence is telling you about the person who was there. What do you think the evidence is? Their essence that they left behind. They have a particular way of doing things. Well, so do you. And if you give yourself the time, you will discover what it is. So, spend some time, y'all. Spend some time to discover. Not the way Christopher Columbus discovered, but you see, because it was already there. But whatever you're looking for is already there. You're just becoming aware that it exists. You're becoming aware that it exists. So do that and find it. And then let it be like confetti or rose petals and sprinkle, sprinkle all over you. Indeed. Think about that. If you spend the time developing and finding and just crafting your essence, do you think you'll have to worry about who likes you and who doesn't like you, who you get along with, who you don't get along with? Nah, that's not even going to be on the forefront of your mind because you're so busy being you. And that's when they tell you you attract your tribe because the law of vibration, everything is moving. And things that move at the same rate, they come together. It's how you build. You know, we say like-minded. It's just that the vibration is very similar or the same. And that's why birds of a feather flock together, because their vibration is the same. So if you don't even know your own vibrational signature, because you've never taken the time to feel it, how are you going to know what boundary to put up so that you only come into contact with more people like yourself? Yeah, that's how far-reaching it goes when you give yourself the time. Well, V22, 4, I see you, Jeff, darling. Tiffany and Javion and Gek, thank you all for being here today on such a lovely Friday. So when you go out into the world, Twitter, when you go out into the world, recognize your essence and take the time to come into contact with it. You know that saying, you lay down with a dog, you get fleas? Well, it works the other way, too. You roll around in rose petals, you'll smell rosy. But how do you know? How do you know which one you're rolling around in if you don't know what you are already? So take the time, Twitter. Take the time. Give yourself the time. I love you, Twitter. You know, I'm going to be on YouTube. I'll give you a few minutes. If you want to pop over here, we're going to hit the ball, baby. Baby, baby. Right? That's what we'll do. I love you, and I'll see you soon, Twitter. Twitter is closed. Hello, Joyce. Franklin, darling. Victoria. Flo Smiles. KZ, Miss McQueen, L. Zola. Yolanda. And of course, we have to say Summer Rose because I can't help myself. Anyway, that is the directive today. Stay. That is the directive today. Give yourself the time. Give yourself the time. You know, people say, oh, I'm feeling myself. Well, if you don't give yourself the time, how would you possibly know what yourself feels like? Hmm? You have to give yourself the time. And so, to recap for all the new people in the room, what does that look like? Apple, you. I was just going to tell you you're crazy. And then, give me a second, Apple. You got to be cracking up in here today. Give yourself that time. Truly. You have a particular way that you feel. You do. The essence of you. You feel a particular way because the law of vibration tells you everything is moving, nothing stands still. That includes you. There's a rhythm to the way the blood moves through your body. There's a rhythm to your heartbeat. There's a rhythm to your breathing. That's the law of rhythm, yes, an ebb and a flow. There's a way that you do things. There's a way that you move. But if you don't give yourself the time to just sit there and be and do nothing, but just, how will you ever discover what that feels like? That's what I want you to do. Spend that time to see what you feel like. Because when you recognize what you feel like and you go out into the world, whatever does not resonate with you, you're not going to partake of. Oh, and you think that coloring is going to do it? Well, of course it will. If you color, color because you're going to get to feel your essence. Oh, but I just bake. Bake, and you'll begin to feel your essence. Cook, you'll feel your essence. Dance, you'll feel your essence, which is you. And when you know that part, everything, you have to understand that everything comes from within. You've heard the word manifest, right? Do you know what a manifest is by definition? A manifest is a record of what is contained within. You know, a cargo ship, a cargo plane. When you get on a plane to travel somewhere, your name is on a manifest. And a manifest is simply a document that shows you what is contained within something. So you are manifesting your life. So, whatever experiences you're going through right now, those experiences are showing you what is contained within you. That's it. So, if you're looking at your life and you go, oh, who is this? That's not my life. Yes, it is. It's what's going on inside of you. So, you see, if you give yourself the time, you'll get to know what's going on inside of you so you can, you're looking in the drawer and you're like, ooh, this doesn't fit anymore, toss. Da, da, da. This doesn't work anymore, toss it. Exactly. If you don't give yourself the time, how will you discover what is working and what is not working? So, what's not working, you let go of. Oh, but Angela, letting go, that's not easy. It's hard. Listen, I said before, and I'll say it again cryptically. There's only one thing in life that's meant to be hard, but I digress. Only one. If you're picking up what I'm laying down. But I digress. Everything else, easy and effortless. You know how you let go? If you see a behavior that you don't like anymore, what is the behavior that you would like instead? That's how you let go, by doing the behavior that you would prefer to do. Now, here's the secret part. Come a little closer and I'll tell you. The secret part is this. How are you doing that thing? If you say, I've been hurt too much, I had too much trauma in my life, it's time for the world to feel my wrath. I don't care. I will hurt you before you hurt me. You see that right there? You see pain? That is not a good place to plant from. If you look at your life and you noticed that you've been hurt a lot, what are you doing that is complicit in that? Where is your compromise? Are you allowing yourself to be hurt because you're afraid of being alone? Are you allowing yourself to be hurt because you want to make friends? Why? Why would you put yourself in that position? That is what needs to be addressed, not the hurt, but the cause of the hurt. The hurt is telling you that there's something that you're doing. And again, it is not a judgment. Wouldn't you want to know? Listen, if your paw hurts, wouldn't you like to know that there's a splinter in it so you can take it out and stop the pain? But if the pain isn't there, you don't see it. You don't have to have pain. The pain is telling you, hey, you're doing something. Look at the behavior that you're doing. Not that the person is hurting you. Look at your behavior. Oh, wow, I do compromise. I'm afraid of being alone. But what if nobody wants to be with me? Oh. So then you have to ask yourself a very important question. What's worth more? Being alone or being with someone and suffering the pain through it? Well, nobody likes pain, I'll tell you that. And if you do, it's a distorted view. I digress. So then you begin to ask yourself, well, I'm afraid of making friends. What if they don't like me? Well, then the question is, do you like you? Do you know why that is important? If you don't like you walk around with a particular demeanor. It is the law of correspondence. As above, so below. If your thoughts are, God, I'm such a loser. Who's going to like me? I don't have anything to offer anybody. I'm so ugly. You say that to yourself. You think it is a secret. It's not a secret. You're saying it loud and clear when you walk down the street with your eyes downcast, your shoulders hunched over, your jaw clenched because you're mad, because you don't want to be alone. And then you wonder why nobody comes near you. Because your demeanor is not inviting. Not because they don't like you, but because the demeanor is not inviting. Not a lot of people go near the death flower. You know why? Because when it blooms, it actually smells like a rotting corpse. Nobody likes to be around that. Well, stop treating yourself like you are the corpse flower. So when people are telling you about self-love, you have to understand the depth of what self-love is. If you look in the mirror and you appreciate who and what you see there, that's why you have to give yourself the time to discover or become aware of what you are, what's good about you. Do those things. And the things that you deem to be bad, well, you're so busy doing the good. Well, then, if you're not doing the bad, well, then it withers and dies. See how easy it is to let go? So that the next time you hear self-love, you will understand why. Self-love means you appreciate who and what you are. You appreciate your skills. You appreciate your talents. You appreciate your very existence. Do you know why? Because as above, so below. Your appreciation in your thoughts, your body responds with appreciation. You know, the chin is lifted. You got a swagger about you. You look people in the eye. You're not scowling. What you are thinking shows on your face because it doesn't have a choice. It is the law of correspondence. So if you're in here in your head cussing all the time, mad at the world because you feel like you can't get ahead, listen, give yourself the time to take a moment to relax. And you'll begin to see the behavior that you're doing that causes you to behave the way you do. And so if you're looking at the behavior that causes you to muck things up, I ain't got no friends, I don't get along with nobody, well, what's your behavior? You're not looking at that behavior because you suck. You're looking at that behavior because if you don't see the behavior, how can you change it? Hmm? That's why you give yourself the time. You give yourself the time to become aware of who you are, what you're good at, what you love. Who do you love? Are you sure? Yeah, who do you love? You walking around with bitterness inside because somebody hurt you? It shows up on your face. It shows up in the way you walk. It comes out of your mouth. People don't hug cactus. They don't. So you think it is a secret? No. By way of the law of gender, to project is masculine. You are projecting anger and misery out. Well, here's how you fix that. Not because it's broken, but because that's not what you actually want. How do I know? Because ain't nobody like to be miserable. Believe you me, nobody likes to be miserable. Everybody wants some peace of mind. So here's how you get it. Look at the behavior that you're doing. Do you like it? No. Well, then what behavior would you like? Begin to do that behavior. What, you mean just like that? Uh-huh. Well, if you walk down the street and you like kicking pebbles, but people are yelling at you because the pebbles are hitting them, stop doing that and do something else. It cannot get any simpler. So that is your encouragement today. Didn't I say we were going to go? Here we are an hour later. Um, give yourself the time to get to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like. You know, what makes you holler, when you laugh. My neighbors. My neighbors, I tell you. When you do that, your whole body changes. That is why it is a bad idea to walk around with unforgiveness towards somebody. You're not forgiving them for their benefit. You're forgiving you for your benefit. Indeed. Because if you're walking around with that anger, that rage, and that unforgiveness, your whole body is tense. From your DNA all the way to your arteries. You know what happens with tight arteries, huh? Blood doesn't flow through them as nicely, not as easily. Next thing you know, something gets choked off, and what happens? Hypertension, heart failure. Uh-huh. All because you don't want to let go of that. Well, be selfish. You know why? Because you deserve to have the blood flowing through your veins with ease. Why, yes. If you're going to think of them, you know that song, Think of Me Fondly, Phantom of the Opera. If you think of them and it upsets you, What do you prefer to feel instead? Oh, but you don't know what they did to me. It's not that I don't care what they did to you. What I'm trying to tell you is it is affecting you in a most undesirable way. It shows up in your whole body and then it comes out of your mouth. Well, I'm just blunt. I tell people how it is. I don't sugarcoat nothing for nobody. Oh, right. Examine that. There's a way of saying something. Of course there is. But if you're speaking from a place of pain, you're only speaking pain. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to preach. All I want you to know is that you must give yourself the time. That's it. Give yourself the time. Read. Whatever it is you like doing, do that. The thing that nourishes you, do it. And you will become aware of your own beauty that is within you. Oh, it is there. Oh, but Angela, you don't know how hard and black their heart is. Pfft. Everybody has light, darling. And that light cannot be extinguished. It may be hidden, but don't be fooled. It is there. So don't worry about the black and hardness of somebody else's heart. Worry about the soft and pliability of your own. Oh, because why? The law of gender. You're projecting. From where? Oh, your heart on a daily basis. Every day. You can't get away from that. It is law. You are projecting out of your essence every single day. Every single day. So if you don't know what's in there, look around you and you'll know exactly what's there. Because it will be made manifest. Yes. Anyhow, I know you might think I'm nuts. Well, these nuts. Anyway, Ayapo, he says, I felt so bad after I read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow the first time. They made the horseman out to be the villain, but the poor guy was just trying. Oh, Lord Jesus. The poor guy was just trying to get ahead. Oh my God. Ayapo. Angela, come for Ayapo, please. Ayapo's wife's name is Angela. Oh, Lord. Give him strength. He also says, I'm leery of people who disguise their pain and angst with being blunt and truthful. Everything doesn't have to be said. And if it has to, there are tactful ways of saying most things. Oh, yes, indeed. I learned that one the hard way, Ayapo. I used to lead worship at church many, many, many moons ago. And one night I had a dream. This dream was a silent dream. And in that dream, as I spoke to people, they would cringe in pain. My words were a whip. Oh, yes. Oh, indeed. Those were my words in that dream. A whip. Mm. So I had a lot of learning to do. And that's when I understood that I was angry all the time. You know, like Hulk. When when the guy said, now would be a good time to get angry. And Hulk goes, I'm always angry. That was me. I was always angry. Always angry. I paid a very dear price for that anger. Oh, I did. It damn near cost me my life. Literally speaking. I didn't die, but I nearly did. You know what it takes to tell yourself I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I could do nothing. And my son found me frothing at the mouth because I was literally dying. And all I could say to myself was, live, bitch. Seriously. Those were the words I said to myself over and over and over again because I could do nothing else. Because my anger was righteous and justified. Oh. Sounds like anger now, doesn't it? No, not anger. Just understanding. When I tell you, it damn near cost me my life to walk around with my justifiable anger. I'm not telling you what I don't know. I'm telling you what I survived. So you get to decide today. Will you give yourself the time or will you keep running around because, oh, it's too painful to be by myself? You have to isolate the wound to clean it so it doesn't infect the whole body. Why do you think the scripture says if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out? What do you think that means? It doesn't mean you gouge your eyes out. Come now. It means you look at it. Is that beneficial? No. Well, then change your behavior. If you can't find a good enough reason to change your behavior, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and you will see your reason. As my father always says when I say, Daddy, do you know any good jokes? He goes, no, but you could look in the mirror. And it makes me laugh every time because he's nuts. He just is. But anyway, you do know I love you. You do know that I love you. So give yourself the time today, please. Please, give yourself that time. And in that time, you will discover the rhythm of your own heartbeat. You will discover your essence. You will discover that thing that you leave behind or the thing you bring with you. Oh, you will. You will. Because it is there. It is not hidden. So, oh, my stomach is growling. Shh. That's my cue. That's my cue to hit the ball, y'all. So, fan base, hey Jordan, Craig, Joyce, Z, Steve, Flo, Smiles, KZ, Miss McQueen, L, Zola, Yolanda, y'all stuck around for real? It's probably because you couldn't get to turn it off because you're busy. Anyway, I love you. And we're going to be over on YouTube because I'm going to hit the bowl. So I'll give you a couple minutes to get there if you want to participate in that. And we'll start our Friday. Yes, we're going to start our Friday. What's pretty deep, Apple? What you talking about? Anyway, I love you, fan base. I'm going to see you on Monday, right? I'll see you. Fan base is closed. Make sure I don't have any DMs. I don't want to miss nobody. Let me pop into the chat here because, yeah, so that I can like my own video. I might as well like my own video, right? Gotta like it. There you go. There's Zola. Oh, well, hi, Casey. But Ayapo, a lot of people think, because they don't know the law, right? A lot of people think that holding on to the anguish is somehow hurting the other person. That's why, drinking the poison and expect the other person to die is a foolish thing to do. You're only killing yourself. But because they cannot see it or understand it in real life terms, because nobody's brought it to their attention, they think it is just, a coincidence. But you cannot walk around with that kind of pain and not have your body respond. It is law. And like I said, I learned the hard way. As the old people in Barbados would say, hard ears, you just hear, boy and boy, you will feel. If you don't listen, well, then you'll feel. Uh-huh. That's what they're telling you. Ruby, darling, you know I love you. I do have to respond to emails today. I've been focused, y'all, with writing the book. Oh, there's a surprise. So I've been really focused on doing that. So forgive me if I've been delayed in responding to your emails. I hear them because they ding, right? They ding. So I will get to you. Tomorrow we are doing the live Q&A for chapter 3 of the KYBALION. So you better get your questions in. I'll be sending out the link today for that. And if you do not get a link, Lord have mercy, holla at your girl, please. Um, well, yes, Ayapo, that is the same reasoning that the person has when they quit their job to show their employer and they end up in the unemployment line and in debt. Yes, you're not punishing anyone but the self because there is only the self. Anyway, let me get that bowl. Hold on, y'all. Incoming bowl.